New World Translation of the Holy Scriptures. This was my personal Bible reading copy. I had many different Bibles for different uses. One for field service, one for deep personal study, which was the big reference Bible. This is the one that I kept near my bed to read my Bible at night. And it's so funny how often I stuck to doing my Bible reading. You know, I messed up and slacked up like so many do, but it's just crazy how I did do a lot of reading, but I still didn't fully come to comprehend what the scriptures meant, because I felt that every time I read something, I had to run to the Watchtower Library to get an explanation of what the scripture meant. And it's just so sad how often I overlook so many scriptures that could have opened my mind and helped me to realize the truth about the Jehovah's Witness religion. I'm going to read something very interesting. Jehovah's Witnesses like to read 2 Timothy 3, 1 through 5, right? But know this, that in the last days, critical times hard to deal with will be here. For men will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, self-assuming, haughty, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, disloyal, having no natural affection, not open to any agreement, slanderers, without self-control, fierce, without love of goodness, betrayers, headstrong, puffed up with pride, lovers of pleasures rather than lovers of God, having a form of godly devotion but proving false to its power, and from these turn away. You pretty much always stop there. And verse 5, having a form of godly devotion but proving false to its power, and from these turn away. We always were programmed to think of everyone outside, every other Christian religion other than Jehovah's Witnesses. You know, that they're pretending to be witnesses. But reflecting on this now, it's so funny how being a witness, you focus on the form of godly devotion instead of truly what the person is on the inside. Jehovah's Witnesses become very judgmental. I mean, what an ego trip. You're told you are the one true religion and that billions of people will die around you because you belong to God's one true organization. So it's an ego trip, and they do have a superiority complex. They do. If you work with one of Jehovah's Witnesses, I guarantee you they've talked about you in some way. They've either pitied you or they have trashed you, okay, while they're out in field service and at the congregation. They love to talk about, compare themselves to other people, you know, because their worlds are so small and they live in this box it makes them feel better, you know. It puffs up their chest and it helps them to feel that, wow, you know, we have something that nobody else out there does. It's funny now how little that is, you know. They really do focus on the outside more so. I mean, it's evident with the way the child molestation, sexual assault issues have been handled over the years. They focused on the form of godly devotion, you know, on the squeaky clean image instead of the mercy, the love, the kindness, the consideration that they were to show to these fleeced and abused sheep. You know what's funny though? Verse 6 and 7, we never really paid attention to the scriptures as Jehovah's Witnesses. And it says, from these arise those whose men who slyly work their way into households and lead as their captives weak women loaded down with sins led by various desires. I'm not getting into what the scripture actually means, but when I read this, I actually think about how the majority of people who become Jehovah's Witnesses are women, and how they're work their way, taking these women who have this sincerity, this want, this desire to please God, and they abuse that and mislead them with their sly words, you know. In verse 7, this is really, when I read that, I was like, oh my goodness. Always learning, and yet never able to come to an accurate knowledge of truth. That is so true, being one of Jehovah's Witnesses. You're constantly like this in the Bible, back and forth. And they feel so proud that they go back and forth throughout the Bible. You know, they're all over the place. But they're nitpicking scriptures here and there. You know, not that it's completely wrong to do that, but that's all they really ever do. They'll focus on one thing and then, you know, ignore what the context means. Now, You know, and you don't really ever come to an accurate knowledge of truth. All you have to do is go back. I dare you. If a Jehovah's Witness is watching this, I dare you to go and check out their doctrines. How many times did the generation change? The teaching of the generation change. What was it in 1994? And what is it today? And how many times in between did that change? You know? Did you know that the understanding that you have now of the sheep and the goats is pretty much the same understanding that Christendom, what you call Christendom, has always had? Other Christian religions have always believed that. And now Jehovah's Witnesses have come to the same conclusion as them. You know, research how many times they might have changed their feeling on that. Research how often the blood issue has changed. Okay? You know, always searching the scriptures, always learning, but never coming to an accurate knowledge of truth. How very true it is. We keep flickering with that on and off light. You know what? That's what I'm going to talk about next. Proverbs 4:18.